Hi, this is Kath Gavin. Welcome to Breaking Bread, bite-sized messages to feed your inner man. Over the next several weeks and months, I plan to share with you my insights on the book of Revelation as I study it. So this bread will be hot out of the oven. So today we're going to get into chapter 2 and look at the church of Ephesus. I'll just read you a few verses. Unto the angel of the church of Ephesus write, These things saith he that holdeth the 7 stars in his right hand, who walketh in the midst of the 7 golden candlesticks. I know thy works, and thy labour, and thy patience. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and I will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. So Jesus began by acknowledging all the good things that they were doing. They were patiently laboring for the kingdom, yet they had left their first love, and this was serious enough for their candlestick to be removed. The 7 golden candlesticks mentioned here alludes to the Menorah, which was kept continually alight in the holy place of the Jewish temple. And I'll read you that in Leviticus 24, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, that they bring unto thee pure oil, olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually. That was the priest's duty, to keep the lamp full of oil and continually burning in the holy place. So the menorah looked conspicuously like a tree or a vine. It had a central stem and 3 branches coming off either side. I'll just read you that description in Exodus 37. And he made the candlestick of pure gold, of beaten work made he the candlestick, and 6 branches going out of the sides thereof. All of it was one beaten work of pure gold. So let's just turn over to John chapter 15 and read about the true vine. Let's compare that to what we read in Revelation 2. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. So let's now compare the true vine to the olive tree described in Romans 11. Verse 16. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches. Thou wilt say then, the branches were cut off, that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off. And thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. For if God spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold therefore the goodness and severity of God. On them which fell severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise thou also shalt be cut off. So we see here an overlap between the menorah, the true vine, and the olive tree. If the Ephesian church had lost their first love, it means they were no longer drawing sustenance from the true vine. They were no longer partaking of the root and fatness of the olive tree. They were no longer full of pure beaten olive oil and bearing light. Therefore, their candlestick would be removed, their branch would be broken off, unless they repented. We see here that they had a small window in which to repent because Jesus was coming quickly. That really gives us a sense of imminence, doesn't it? And that imminence is emphasized in the last chapter of Revelation, Revelation 22. It says in verse 7, "Behold, I come quickly." Verse 10, "Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand." Verse 12, "Behold, I come quickly." Verse 20, "Surely I come quickly." But how does Jesus' message to the church at Ephesus apply to us today? Throughout the Gospel of John, Jesus made this point: I am the source. Do you recognize Jesus as the one and only source of light and life? Do you recognize that without him, you can produce nothing of any spiritual value? Do you draw spiritual sustenance from him? Is he your first love? Do you abide in him and he in you? How can we know that? We look at the fruit that we're producing in our life. If we are abiding in the vine or the olive tree, then we will produce good fruit. If we are full of pure beaten olive oil, then we'll be bearing light. We will be a light in this world. People will see our good works and glorify God. Or like the Ephesian church, do you need to repent? As something to ponder on and act upon this week. So in my next video, I'll get into the church of Smyrna. If you want to follow along this journey with me, click the subscribe button, and I'd also love it if you would share your insights in the comment section below so we can break bread together. Until my next video, God bless.